Mole. Noun. A spy, a double agent, who establishes a cover long before beginning espionage. Chief, out.
At last, we're finally here. Here to witness the start of what is sure to be a quite extraordinary journey. During this journey, 10 contestants will compete in a number of challenges, like the one behind me, for the chance to win up to 25,000 Microsoft points. Each challenge the group completes earns them Microsoft points that goes towards a group pot. However, one of the 10 is a mole. A double agent chosen by us to secretly sabotage the group's efforts by preventing them from completing the challenges. Although the other contestants are competing as a team, only one of them will walk away with the prize, as episode by episode, a contestant is eliminated after taking a quiz about the mole's identity. The one who remains? The contestant who correctly answers, who is the mole? Is it Goose, a 27-year-old clinical psychology graduate from Washington, D.C.? Apple, an 18-year-old college freshman from Missouri? Sundown, a 23-year-old software developer from Iowa? Ty, a 21-year-old communications specialist from New Jersey? Deadpool, a 23-year-old competitive Halo player from Minnesota? Mike, a 22-year-old college graduate from Texas? Hippo, a 15-year-old high school student from Florida? T. Gizzle, a 17-year-old high school senior from Florida? Kevin, a 49-year-old CPA from Washington? Or Nick, a 21-year-old political science graduate from California? Over these next few weeks, skills will be tested, alliances formed, sabotages executed, and most importantly, Microsoft points earned for the group. Only one will walk away with the prize, but the only way they can do that is to identify the mole. Let's find out what our newly acquainted contestants think of each other.
Well, here I am. It's day one of the mole, and I have no idea what to expect.
So quite frankly right now, I'm not feeling that intimidated by any of the contestants.
This seems like a really good group. A lot of personalities stand out. There's some people that are quiet, like I noticed Lollygagger was very silent, but Apple stood out really well. He was quite a character.
I can expect almost anything at this point. The challenges could be from questionnaires to simple obstacles to things I may not expect myself.
Not really sure what to think. I know this game is going to be fairly about a lot of deception, so I'm curious to see how different people react.
For me, it's going to be a challenge because my skill set probably isn't on par with a lot of these young kids.
I'm going to smoke these guys. They're all interesting people, but I'm in it to win it.
I'm feeling really excited. I'm wondering who the mole could be, and I'm really looking forward to a good competition. And the best of luck to me, right?
I think it's interesting that there's only one girl in the group, too. I don't know if she'll be around too long. I don't know if a girl can hang with this competition.
You know, I'm going to try really hard. I know I'm going to do my best, but I predict that my best will sometimes not be good enough, and hopefully that will make me look mole-ish, and people will throw their votes towards me while I figure out who is the mole.
Welcome, contestants, to your first challenge. You've all had time to speak and get to know one another, but now it's time. Let's see if you can start off on the right foot.
For our first challenge, Bridge the Gap, contestants will have their jumping skills put to the test. 2 jumping courses are available to the contestants. The left course, easier of the 2, but the right course, more rewarding. Along the way, contestants have the chance to pick up power weapons located slightly off each course, 2 on the left course and 3 on the right. Each contestant who completes the course earns 20 points for their team. If they make it to the finish with one of the weapons, they will earn 50 points. If one contestant manages to carry 2 of the course weapons with them to the end, the team will automatically win this challenge. The contestants each have 3 lives and 10 minutes to complete the challenge. If the team is able to accumulate 100 points in the time allotted, they will win 1,500 Microsoft points for the pot.
Remember, contestants, you have 10 minutes to get 100 points. But beware the mole. Your challenge begins now. It appears in the early stages the contestants are going to study the courses before making any foolish attempts. But it will be Deadpool who will attempt the left course first. And before anyone else has jumped, be the first person to lose a life. Nick is beginning the first attempt down the right-hand course, closely followed by Sundown, and Hippo begins on the left. Skipping forward, we see that Deadpool is beginning his second attempt already, just behind Hippo, who's now going over the shield doors, and that's Ty in the background beginning his first attempt. Nick progressing well down the right-hand course, the far more difficult of the two. Kevin is beginning his first attempt now, closely followed by Apple. And that's Kevin losing his first life already. Deadpool making a dangerous jump to overtake Hippo, but does it successfully. And that's T-Gizzle now beginning his first attempt. That's Mike also now beginning his first attempt. As we see in the background there, that's Deadpool losing his second life already within 2 minutes. Hippo making his way towards the lift, and that's Ty in the foreground losing his first life. Let's see if Nick can make the shield door jump on the right-hand side. He can't, and that's his first life gone. Looking back, we see that Goose is the only person not to have attempted the courses yet. Sundown, same place, same result as Nick, first life lost. T-Gizzle is struggling to stay on, he loses his first life, but on the upside, Hippo does make it to the halfway stage. And Apple right in tow behind him. 3.5 minutes about gone, we see that Deadpool is already on his third attempt and leading the charge for the group on the left-hand side. He has to be careful though. And that's Sundown losing his second life already. And that's Deadpool losing his third, and so within 4 minutes he is now out of the challenge. Let's see if Hippo, who is looking like the strongest candidate so far, maybe wants to start veering for a weapon now he knows that Deadpool is out of the challenge. But Apple is following behind him, so he could also go for a weapon if he so chooses. The weapon is just on the left by that man cannon you see. Hippo has progressed to the stair pallets. Probably the last difficult challenge left before the end. Gotta mind his head though. And he doesn't, and that's his first life lost. At the halfway stage, we see back at the starting platform, and Goose has yet to attempt the courses. I wonder where she's going to start. That is now Kevin beginning his second attempt on the left-hand side, Sundown on the right-hand side, and that is Sundown out of the challenge as well. That's 2 of the 10 contestants already down, as Apple, the furthest forward on the left-hand course, is going to lose his first life. Ty bouncing across the shield door, as we see Nick there in the background going for a weapon. He feels it's necessary, but it is going to cost him his second life. T-Gizzle going to try and join Ty and Hippo across the shield door, but he's having some problems. He has to be wary of that kill ball. If it just touches him, he will lose a life. But he is going to navigate it, and he's going to land on top of Ty's head, apparently. Not sure how that helps him. Apple beginning his second attempt down the right-hand course. So we see Mike become the third person to make it to the halfway stage. Hippo just behind him will make it to the halfway stage again. That's twice in a row for Hippo. Definitely the strongest contestant at this course. And he's going to lead the way for Mike to try and show him how to do these jumps. We see T-Gizzle loses his second life in almost the exact same place he lost his first. As Hippo misses a jump he made the first time, so that's his second life gone as well. Ty manages to save himself from losing his second life, but that is Kevin in the background losing his second. Apple and Mike both at the same time. We see Apple lose his second, and Mike furthest forward lose his first. Ty jumping onto the stool. It's going to go straight into the lift, and that's his second life gone. But Hippo has made it to the halfway stage almost again for his third attempt. But he's having some problems. And that is Hippo out of the challenge. The strongest contestant now out. But Nick has made it to the halfway stage on his final attempt. Apple now on his final attempt is going to try and attempt to jump to the stall, and he's now out of the challenge as well. That's 4 people down. We see all of the rest of the contestants, most of them on their final lives, trying to hurry to get to the end of the course with only 2 minutes remaining. And Kevin is going to miss the first jump. That's his third life gone, and Mike his second. Goose will finally attempt the course. Not much said about that first attempt, I'm afraid, for Goose. Ty jumps into the lift again, and twice in a row he's going to have problems there, and that's him now out of the challenge. Looking back, we do see that only 4 people now left on the course. Nick the furthest forward. Goose will have a second attempt at the course with only 1 minute left. Not much better than her first, really. T-Gizzle does make it to the halfway stage, but at this point, weapons are now necessary if the contestants want to win this challenge. Goose, with her last attempt, doesn't even make it to the first block, as she's out of the challenge with T-Gizzle as well as Mike, leaving Nick as the only remaining contestant now left on the course. He has to somehow find 2 weapons and make it to the end of the course with 10 seconds remaining. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen. He's made it to the pallet stairs, only Hippo made it this far, but it doesn't appear like he's going to make it. Contestants, your challenge is now over. Your 10 minutes have elapsed and no one has reached the final platform. You therefore bank no points for the pot. Clearly this is an early victory for the mole.
Well, let's see. First challenge was a bastard.
Yeah, I was hoping more for Slayer stuff.
Challenge 1, definitely a puzzle. I don't think it was as hard as anyone made it. I think if it was more singular based, it would have been a lot easier. But with everyone jumping around and everyone trying to confuse everybody else, it just kind of became a mess.
I thought Challenge 1 was awesome because it let us see like who wanted to take over as a leader. It let us see who was going to sit back and just let things happen.
I got pretty far, and so did Nick. I was able to guide him towards the end.
The weapons, I did not find a single weapon. However, I'm sure they were placed in rather obvious spots. But at the end of the challenge itself, I knew after the first 5 people died that no one was going to get it. And I'm not just saying that to make it seem like everyone was pathetic at the course, but considering we were at a loss and time was running out, desperation came for desperate measures, and we just didn't have it at the end.
I don't even think I made it past the first block. So that one was really, really hard for me. But then again, it was hard for everybody. And banking no money, I don't think any mole activity was involved because we all sucked.
The contestants failed their first challenge, but there's still 15 more to go. This next challenge will be very important, as this is the first chance the contestants have to win an exemption.
In Strikeout, contestants must bowl their way to success. 10 pallets stand upright at the bottom of a lane, which contestants knock down with golf balls to score points for the team. The number of balls each contestant receives is determined by the number rolled on the die. The contestants then have that many balls to score the most pallets possible. The lane has many hazards and obstacles that can alter the ball's trajectory. If a contestant manages to knock down all pallets on their first roll, they will receive an exemption from the first elimination. If the team can knock down at least 50 pallets in total, 1,000 Microsoft points will be added to the pot.
So contestants, you failed your first challenge, but we're still early in the game and there's plenty more points to be earned. Before starting this challenge, you all voted that Ty would be the first to attempt the course. So Ty, let's begin. And challenge 2 has begun. Let's see if the contestants can get a better attempt at this one than they did at challenge 1. Here he is rolling the die, and it looks like he's going to get 4 attempts at hitting the pallets. Moving back, we see that he's moving the ball slightly, but he's going to take his first shot from inside the container. Not exactly sure why he's done that. Wasted shot, and obviously now has lost the chance of an exemption. Second attempt, he is going to roll it to the edge now. Let's have a look. He's just going to assess the course. And it's going to hit it with a lot of power, but it is very accurate. The ball bouncing down, very central, but it's going to bounce just over the top. You can even see the pallets just slightly moving there. But none of them knocked over, unfortunately. Now with his third attempt, still very accurate. It's looking very, just veering to the left a little bit, but still again bouncing over the top. Hopefully he realizes for his 4th attempt, he's got to put a little less power into this. And hopefully some of the other contestants you can see there are watching out the window there. Hopefully they will take note. Too far left for this one. This one does not have a chance at all. It's going to just continue straight to the left. Well, 1 down and 0 pallets knocked over. Not the best start for the team, but still 9 more contestants to go. And up now is Deadpool. Deadpool's going to take a running hit at this die. I'm not sure it really makes a difference. Well, it hasn't worked out for him because he's only going to get 1 attempt at the pallets. Still, that does mean, like all the contestants, they all have a chance of an exemption if they get a strike on the first go. Taking his time moving it out. He's going to hit it from nowhere near the line, and unsurprisingly, it's just going to go all the way to the right-hand side. And now with 2 contestants down and no pallets hit, it's not looking good for this challenge. Let's see if Nick can do any better. Have a quick look to the right-hand side, jump, and well, he's going to fire the die over the top, so it has to land inside the little box there, so it is not going to count whatever it landed on there. Let's see if his second attempt at rolling the die can be any good. It is. It's going to be the best roll possible. He's going to have 6 attempts at the pallets. Let's hope for his sake and the contestants they can get some pallets knocked over. He's going to roll this one over the edge, not hitting it with the hammer, just pushing it over the edge. Very straight, just a bit to the right, and it is going to get 6 pallets. No exemption for Nick, but it is going to be a good start. The contestants bouncing up and down. Finally, they have some pallets on their score towards 50. Nick now on his second attempt, using from just the left-hand side, not chancing going through the middle again. It's got a little bit of a wobble to it, and it doesn't appear like it's going back enough, and it's going to go to the left. From the right-hand side this time, might hit the ramp. It is. It's going to slow the golf ball down. Will it get there in time? It will just knock over the number 7 pallet. That's something. Now on 7. I think it looks like he's going to try and go through the left-hand side again. Not sure this is going to move over enough. It's just going to hang its line straight to the left. Still 2 attempts left. Can he possibly knock the other 3 over in the remaining 2 attempts? Again, a little bit to the left-hand side. I don't think this one is coming back in enough. It's going to hit the ramp again. Moving slowly in, but not going to manage to hit any of the pallets. On to the final attempt. Here we go. Apple will be the next to go. I hope he's been paying attention to what Nick's been doing. Nick looks like he's going to attempt the middle, try and go through the mines, and I'm telling you right now, that's going to hit that mine. And it's going to veer it over to the left-hand side. I don't think this has much of a chance of coming back inwards. And it won't, it's just going to go to the left-hand side. So 3 contestants down, and only 7 pallets knocked over. Not the best start. But up next is Apple. Apple going to take a short run up. Thank you for not firing it over the top like Nick did. And he's going to get 4. So 4 attempts. Plenty of attempts, really. But his first attempt he's going to take from miles back from the line, and it isn't even going to get onto the course. What a waste of a first attempt. His second attempt, again, nowhere near the line, using the hammer. It appears he really did not pay attention to Nick, and it's going to miss to the left again. 2 attempts gone, only 2 left now. Again, from a fair distance back. It's going to hit the ramp, but I'm not sure it's hitting anyway. It's going to veer it to the left-hand side. His final attempt. Is he going to take it to the line? A little bit closer. Still using the hammer, though. More central than the last few, but it's still going to be just to the left. So after Nick's 7 pallets, Apple with 0. So only 7 down from 4 contestants. Now it's Kevin. He's going to hit the die into the corner. Will that help him? No, it won't. Only 1 attempt for Kevin. He's going to begin by rolling it slowly out of the box, but he is going to be the first person to put away the hammer. Let's see if this is something that helps him or not. Taking his time, making sure his line is correct. He's going to push it over the edge. It's looking decently straight, but he's going to start shooting it with a battle rifle. This may give it too much momentum. And it's going to bounce right over the top of the center pallet. Had he given it less force, it probably would have been a strike. Now we're moving on to Goose. Die bouncing, and Goose is only going to get 1 attempt as well. She is going to use the hammer, and she is going to veer it off the course to the right. And with Goose scoring 0, the challenge has now been lost. But the remaining 4 contestants still have exemptions to play for. Hippo now, 7th contestant to go. He will also only get 1 attempt. That's 3 in a row. It really makes no difference to the challenge at this point, though, as really they're only playing for exemptions. Now, just to the left of that mine, if it veers to the right a little bit, this could be this is going to be very close, and it's just going to hit to the left. It's going to get 6 pallets, but it's only 13 out of a potential 70. Sundown next to roll. Only 3 contestants left. And he becomes the 4th contestant in a row to roll a 1. Oh, these contestants are not getting very lucky with their dice rolls. He's going to guide it to the edge, knock it over. Pulling out the battle rifle. He is now going to shoot it. It's veering a little bit to the left, but it's staying low. And he's going to get 3 of the pallets. Well, that takes the team's total up to 16 out of the potential 80. Only 20%. Not the best score. Penultimate contestant up now, Mike. And he's going to roll a 1 for the 5th time in a row. The contestant's certainly going to think that there's some fixing going on here. He's going to knock it off to the right-hand side. holding its line, unfortunately, and it's not going to veer back left at all. Very straight, but to the right. No pallets down for Mike. Final contestant up is T. Gizzle, who's going to hit his dice over the top, so we'll have to roll that one again, just like we did with Nick. And he's going to get a 3, so finally we break the streak of 1. If he wants that exemption from the first elimination, which could be crucial, he needs to get a strike on his first go. And it doesn't look like it's going to happen as he hits the mines, trailing off to the right-hand side, and I don't think it's going to actually reach the pallets, as it's going to slow down to a stop. So can he get any of the pallets down with his remaining 2 attempts? It's the mines again. It might go into the man cannon. It will, which means it's going to be diverted back towards the pallets, and he will get the rightmost pallet, getting 1. Still, with only 17 of the pallets down, and not very good showing by the contestants again. Final attempt for T. Gizzle. And I think that sums up how the contestants have done on this challenge. He lets it just trickle off the edge. Once again, contestants, you have failed. You only scored 17 pallets out of the required 50. Were you just unlucky? Were the numbers that you rolled fixed? Or was it that the mole's number always came out on top?
Well, the first 2 challenges were a complete failure.
I don't even want to talk about this game. It's so bad.
And then challenge 2, I thought that was just really up to chance, and I guess the whole golf ball mechanics aren't really too great in this game, but it was a pretty good challenge. But I don't know, I feel a bit too difficult.
It was pretty funny that I think we rolled 6 1s. That was pretty tough.
You know, it's tough getting that many 1s, and, you know, controlling a golf ball's not easy.
The die was absolutely weighted. There's no question about it.
That dice had to be weighted. I swear to you it was.
I'm not sure if that showcased anything. It showcases people's irrationality, I want to say, when they thought the dice was weighted and there's a certain way to hit it to get a number 1. Because personally, I figured you just hit the dice and it was going to land on a random number.
There's 2, which one I hope to ally with right now is Nick of Steel. The other person I feel somewhat intimidated by right now is Goose Checka. All the rest of them I feel completely comfortable with.
I don't figure at this point that the moles had much to do with anything. I haven't noticed any kind of interference. It just seems like we're really bad at stuff.
Now that the contestants have completed the first 2 challenges, it's time for them to take the quiz. 10 questions to the identity of the mole. These questions could be anything from, how old is the mole? What level is the mole? To how did the mole do in the last challenge? The contestant who answers the fewest questions correctly will be eliminated. If there is a tie for the fewest correct answers, then the contestant who completes the quiz in the slowest time will be eliminated. Well, contestants, you failed your first 2 challenges, but now you have to consider what you've learnt and your suspicions on the mole. Choose carefully, or this might be the last quiz you take. Question 1. During Bridge the Gap, did the mole ever attempt the right-hand course? Question 2. In Strikeout, what number did the mole roll on the die? Question 3. In what order did the mole give their opinion on the group at the start of today? Question 4. During Bridge the Gap, did the mole successfully make the man cannon jump to the halfway point? Question 5. In Strikeout, did the mole knock over any pallets? Question 6. Does the mole have a Spartan rank of 130? Question 7. In Bridge the Gap, what order was the mole eliminated from the challenge? Question 8. During Strikeout, did the mole ever miss a shot to the left-hand side of the pallets? Question 9. Just before taking the quiz, facing Jack, was the mole on the left half of the group or the right half? Question 10. Who is the mole?
And my suspicions on the mole, I'm pretty sure the mole is lollygagging. Like, I'm almost definite at this point.
Right now, I think that the mole is Deadpool. And I think he was one of the first ones to die in the jumping thing. So those are just my kind of general observations.
I think Deadpool wants people to think that he's the mole, but I'm pretty sure he's not. I doubt Apple's really as dumb as he's acting, so maybe he's doing something.
I don't like Apple. He could be the mole. Possible though. He kind of seems a little too hyper.
I have a pretty good suspicion that Master Sundown's the mole. Why do I think that? Second challenge, he wasn't paying attention to who was rolling the dice. More was he just straying off in the waiting room. And the fact that he just gives me that sting eye.
You know, at this point, it could really be anybody. I don't know if there's any particular person that's really stood out as far as who that would be. Really could be anybody at this point. Hell, it could be me.
I think it's a toss-up between Yield, Apple, Goose Checka, and Hippo. Hippo's trying really, really hard to get coalitions together with the other team right now. I don't know, it just seems kind of weird. But at this point, I don't think anyone actually knows who the mole is.
You know, there weren't any dominant figures that could seem like the mole as of right now. Like, no one seemed to be sabotaging our games, and either the mole sucks, or that means the mole is doing a really good job of preventing us from winning.
If I had to guess about the mole, it's probably one of two people. First, I would think it's Goose, because she's sitting back and being very quiet, not really talking too much during the challenges. Or two, I would think it's your boy Apple, because he's doing the exact opposite. He's being loud, he's making his name known, and I don't know, I get a bad vibe from that.
You know, what thing is not like the other, and there is one individual who was alive during Bridge the Gap, one individual who actually got a decent number of pins during Strikeout, and that's the same person. So it's kind of odd to me that when everybody else is struggling so much that he is able to do so well, which is Nit.
Welcome to your first elimination. This will be the last time all 10 of you are together, because one of you is about to leave. We'll start with Hippo. Deadpool. T-Gizzle. I'm sorry, T-Gizzle. You have been eliminated as the first victim of the mole, and you must now leave the competition.
I'm finding it really hard to believe that I was wrong on who I thought was the mole. I would say good luck to everybody. Everybody stop picking on Apple so much, because, you know, who knows? He could be the mole for all we know. Yeah, I'm gonna get a lot of crap from my friends because of this.
Subscribe and hit that notification bell to not miss a single episode, and join our Discord community. Link in the description.